Everything was going swimmingly in my little life. For example, I was about 2 years out from my dream job. As soon as I could wash a dish without breaking it, the position would be mine. Also, Nana had kicked me out, but I had found a new place, $250 rent, and that was covered by the government. Nana could eat shit. Now that I had my freedom, my home was filled with snacks, my choice of anything I wanted, without that fucking nag breathing down my ass. Pizza, cookies, chocolate. I ate to my heart's content, and I still looked great. It didn't matter what the scale said. I did not have a scale. The best part of it all? I had a hot wife. Well, almost. A hot female had moved in upstairs. I had spoken to her once, but it didn't go too well. She said I stunk, and then I went for her tits. I ended up with eyes full of stinging mace. The important part was that the groundwork for romance had been laid. She had observed me. She had seen that I take what I want, and she knew that soon I would call her my own. I let out a fart as I watched a cartoon, a greedy handful of cheese rings making their way to my mouth. My eyes were still damaged from the macing. Both were swollen and sore and protruding from my skull. My left eye was infected, with a crust keeping it shut. I used a cheese dust-covered finger to pick at some of the hard mucus. I screamed with my mouth closed as I used my thumb and forefinger to pull the skin apart. The hard layer crumbled, and with a snap the crust gave way as my beet-red eye was exposed underneath. New sight granted, it darted around, exploring. I held my hand there for a second, and then released my fingers, allowing the puffy skin to snap back to close. Boom, 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 boom. I could hear her up there, that bitch, shaking the ceiling, doing some workout. Overrated shit. This pissed me off. I struggled out of the chair, then I grabbed my baseball bat. With a heave, I started to ram it into the ceiling. Bah, 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 bah. Just shut the fuck up, bitch, just shut up. She would not be working out when she was living in my home. I continued hitting the ceiling with the bat, every slam chipping deeper into the wood, which flaked off onto me. I gave one last slam before my heart stabbed my chest. My breath caught in my throat. I winced and grabbed for my neck and face. My mouth opened and moved around with no sound coming from it. I stumbled back and brought my ass down hard into my ratty chair. The bat clanged to the ground. My face was going purple as I squirmed. I had yet to kickstart my lungs to life once more. I could feel the slowing chug of my heartbeat pulse in my ears. My face retreated into my chin as I began to slam my fists into my chest. With a very hard hit that could have cracked my ribs, my lungs sprung back to life. Raspy and sweet breath filled them. I gasped for more, getting back to a steady rhythm. Fuck. I was back, baby. I know you boys would never let me die like that. You're good lungs, I said as I circled my nipples with my fingers. I grabbed a comfort cake and reclined in the chair. I popped the treat into my mouth and sucked it down in one bite. It got lodged as I once again started to die, this time from choking. Using a toad-like method of dislodgement, I shot my head to the sky and pumped my neck up and down. I held my belly, and my wispy hair bounced with each pulse. After 10 seconds, I had done it. With a final pump upwards, the wet cake shot from my mouth and landed across the room. Oh Lord, even trying to have a sweet cake, the devil comes for me. I used my tongue to flick remnants of the cake from my mouth as I stared at the ceiling. She was still fucking going. Fuck! I bet she thought she was a perfect little princess with all that working out and moving around and shit. I decided I would go show her what happens when you act like a braggadocious bitch. 30 minutes had passed before I made it up the stairs with my cane. I was pink, I was wet, and I stunk. On top of that, I could hardly see anything. My vision blacked out in one eye and a total yellow fog covering the other. I eventually found my way to her apartment door. I heard the workout music from inside. I raised my fist to knock, and a quick heart stab froze me in place for a second. Once the ringing stopped and I regained motor functions, I began slamming the door with my fist. Bitch! Open up your mouth! I was working up a sweat, my thin hair flying wildly around me with every vicious swing. I was making progress. Soon the door would give, and she would have the shock of her life as I shuffled through broken wood to begin my hunt. I hope she had more than mace this time. I'm almost through, bitch! I was about to deliver the payload when the door clicked open. I stumbled back and used my cane to steady myself. What the fuck? The place was pitch black, and there was no workout music at all. I heard a sick gurgle echo from somewhere deep in the apartment. Something's up. My angel was in trouble. I would have to save her so my sick games could continue. I stepped into the apartment and my feet sunk into something tender and soft. I gave a deep sniff. And it stunk like the wet inside of someone's mouth. I gagged. I was blind. I could barely see shit. I dug my iPod Touch out of my pocket and turned on the flashlight app. Through the yellow film over my one working eye, I could make out flesh. I scanned the ground and panned up to the walls. It covered everything. Cystic zits dotting the scene like shrubbery, sharp fractured bone piercing through skin, pulsing vein clusters ornamenting various spots on the ceiling. Whoa! This flesh world was something new, and then it clicked for me. The bitch must have became the house. That must be it. I was in the bitch, enjoying her insides. It was the bitch. I could see guts which sprouted from the ceiling, leading to what looked like a bathroom. Oh shit! Is that where you taking shits, bitch? I said to the flesh. A reply in the form of a ripple shook the home. I had to see what kind of fucked up stuff was going on in there. I played a nice funky song on my iPod, and I took off my socks. I got a little fat guy shuffle going. Right foot forward and then back, with my left foot following after it. I was really getting into some kind of so fat he's disabled type groove, using my cane for flair and shit. I was hilarious and graceful like a frog with a top hat. I had almost reached the bathroom when I heard a voice. What the fuck, man? In the open doorway stood my hot-ass neighbor! What are you doing in the flesh room? My chin jiggled as my fat head shot around, confused, trying to comprehend exactly what was happening. My swollen eyes made me look like some demon. This isn't your place? No, fatty, that's the flesh room. Oh god. I had mixed up the apartment numbers. Now I was in the flesh room. Curse my eyes, and curse this bitch and her mace. God damn it! She smirked and grabbed the door to the room. Later, creep. With a devious smile, she slammed it shut. My iPod Touch fizzled and died, and I was sprung into darkness. I was quickly added to the room, my flesh and nerves distributed to their proper places within the system. The zits that covered my ass provided a bounty of new decorations for the place. Sharing a digestive tract with Armand fucking sucks, but I make the most of it. We have our disposal schedules. I spend my time writing pop songs, singing them out of the shared mouth in the back room. I'm good, like Bieber. One day, with enough practice, and once I can get our collective vocal cords to not sound like the screams of hell, I will lure you in here, bitch.